Hello, this is lesson 2.3b. We are going to be comparing values of expressions. So let's get started. Sharing my screen with you. And here we are. Lesson 2.3b, comparing values of expressions. Today's standard is I can compare values of expressions. And it's from NS3, solve real world and mathematical problems involving the 4 operations with rational numbers. So how do we compare values in word problems? Often problem situations require making comparisons between 2 values. We use the order of operations to calculate the values and then we compare. So we have Santiago and Francisco play a board game in which they move counters along a board. Santiago moves his counter back 3 spaces 4 times and then moves his counter forward 6 times. So I'm going to underline that because I think underlining helps us. He moves his counter back 3 spaces. How many times? 4 times. And then he moves his counter forward 6 spaces. Francisco moves his counter back 2 spaces 3 times and then moves his player forward 3 spaces 1 time. 1 time there. Find each player's overall change in position. Who moved farther? Okay, so we're looking at some information there. Clear my lines. And it says, you can see that blurriness. When the math teacher uses your name in word problems. That would be Francisco and Santiago. Okay, next. Comparing values in word problems. Okay, here they are again, the word problem. Step 1, we're going to find each player's overall change in position. So we're going to start with Santiago. He moved back 3 spaces. That's going to be a -3. How many times did he do that? He did it 4 times. So we're going to multiply 4 times -3. And then he moved forward 6. So in the green box below, you will see 4 times -3 plus 6. Francisco, on the other hand, moved back 2 spaces. That's -2. How many times did he do it? He did it 3 times. And then he moved forward how many spaces? 3. So you will see that in the green box as well. So now we have to solve the problem. So 4 times -3 is -12. And we add 6. So -12, and then we're adding that to the 6, which gives us -6. Francisco is 3 times 2, -2, which is -6. And we're adding that to +3. So we should end up with a -3. Okay. Moving on. Here's the same word problem. Step 2 is to compare the number of spaces moved by the players. What did we have for the answer? We had the absolute value of -6 for Santiago and -3 for Francisco. Which one is a bigger value? What does the absolute value mean? Absolute value is the number, how far the number is from 0. Doesn't matter if it's on the left of 0 or on the right of 0 on the number line. It's how far from 0 the number is. And it's always a distance and it's always positive. So the absolute value of -6 is really 6. And the absolute value of -3 is really 3 because they're 3 units from 0 or 6 units from 0. So now when we compare, put a circle there so we can put our comparison in there. The open mouth goes towards the bigger number. And since -6, the absolute value of it is bigger or greater because 6 is greater than 3, who moved farther? You should say Santiago. Santiago moved farther, but which direction did he go? He went in the wrong direction, right? So he actually ended up back 6 spaces, whereas Francisco ended up back 3 spaces, right? So Santiago actually lost the game, but he had a greater change. It was just a change in the wrong direction. Okay, let's compare some more. Brooklyn and Chloe are in line together to buy tickets. Brooklyn moves back by 3 places 3 times to talk to May. She then is invited to move 5 places up in line. Chloe moved back 4 places twice and then moved up in line by 3 places. Overall, who moved back farther in line? So what on earth is this talking about, right? So we have Brooklyn. She moves back by 3 places 3 times, and then she's invited to move 5 places up in line. Chloe is moved back 4 places twice, and then she moved up in line by 3 places. So what's the overall? Who moved back farther in line? Let's look at how to do this. Step 1, we're going to find each player's overall change in position. Brooklyn is -3 3 different times, plus she moved up 5. Chloe is -4 2 different times, and then she moved up by 3. Use our order of operations to figure that out. 3 times, let me get a different color here. 3 times -3, not that one. 3 times -3 is -9, plus +5 is equal to -4. Chloe is 2 times -4, which is -8, plus the 3 is going to be -5. So I'm sure that's going to come up in a minute. So let's clear and bring those numbers up. So Brooklyn is -4 and Chloe is -5. Next step, same question. We're going to compare the numbers moved by each person. Compare the absolute values of the numbers. So it was Brooklyn and Chloe. The absolute value of -4 is going to be +4. Why does it keep selecting the wrong one? And the absolute value of -5 is +5 because it's how far away from 0 the number is. That was something we covered last year in 6th grade. We'll figure out if we need a greater than, a less than sign, or an equal sign. Well, the number opens to the bigger, the mouth opens to the bigger number. In our case, the 5, the absolute value of -5 is greater than the absolute value of 4. So our question then is answered by Chloe moved farther back in line, but May invited them both over for a sleepover after they bought their tickets. Okay, now it's your turn to give one a try. I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, welcome back. Let's continue. Which expressions shows the greater value? -10 divided by 2 minus 2. Remember our order of operations? We're going to do division before we do subtraction. -10 divided by 2 is -5, and then we're going to subtract the -2. -5 minus 2 is the same as -5 plus -2. Change the sign, make the other one opposite. That would be what? -5 plus -2. Same sign integers, you're going to add them. They're going to take the sign of the number. So it'll be -7. Let's bring that up. Oh, where's my numbers? There's -7. Okay. Now we're going to look at the next one. -28 divided by 4. So it's going to be a negative answer of, yes, -7. We're going to add that to +1. Different signed numbers, when we add them, we really are subtracting them. And the answer gets the value or the sign of the bigger absolute value number. So it's going to be a -6, correct? Okay, I'm going to undo that or clear that because the number is going to whip out here in a second. There it is, -6. Okay, now we got to compare which is bigger, which is smaller. This time we're not talking about which absolute value is bigger or smaller. We're talking about which number is bigger or smaller. There's a difference. Absolute value is distance, so it's always positive. -7 and -6 are just numbers on the number line. The smaller number is the one that's farther from 0 on the left side of 0. Since they're both on the left side of 0, which one is the bigger number? The number closer to 0 is the bigger number. Did you say -6? Then you are correct. And the mouth opens towards -6 because it is the bigger number. Here's another one, 42 divided by -3 plus 9. Order of operations tells us to do division before adding. 42 divided by -3 is, if you don't know off the top of your head, what could you do? Well, you could do this. 42 on the inside divided by 3. We know the answer is going to be a negative sign because we have opposite signed integers. 3 goes into 4 one time. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is equal to 0. The answer here, anyways, is -14. And we have to add that to +9, which is really subtracting. It's going to take the sign of the bigger number, which is -14. So 14 minus 9 is 6, so -6 would be the answer. I'm going to clear it because it's going to come whipping in here in a second. There's -5. Did I do that wrong? 12. What did I do? What was it? It was 12, right? 42 divided by, lost track here. Let me do it. Hold on. No, it was 14. So 14 plus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, it's 5. You're right. The answer's right. I was wrong. Mistake. Okay, -36 divided by 9 is -4, right? 4 times 9 is 36. -2. How do we write that? Well, it's really -4 plus -2, right? You have same sign integers and you're adding them. They're going to end up being the sign of the numbers and you're adding them together. So it should be -6. This one I'm going to get right. This is class, what are you doing? Okay, let's see. -6, there we go. Okay, let's compare. Is -5 bigger or is -6 bigger? The one closer to 0 on the left side of 0 is the bigger number. Yes, it would be towards the mouth would eat the -5 because it's bigger. I'd rather play outside at -5 degrees than -6 degrees. Or I'd rather be in debt $5 rather than be in debt $6. All right, it's your turn to compare some integers. Welcome back. Now we're going to focus on some higher order thinking. Order these expressions from, be careful on this, make sure you read the instructions, from least to greatest. From least to greatest. So we have this expression, B's expression, C's expression, D's expression, and E. I don't think there's an F. So now we have to figure out the answer and then we have to put them in order from least to greatest. Well, is there going to be an F? I wish I knew. Yep, there is an F. There it is. Okay, A, 0 divided by -3. Remember, you can divide 0 and you can divide things into 0, but you can't divide things by 0. So 0 divided by -3 is going to be just 0. And you're going to add that to 5 and you're going to get 5, right? And then B, you're going to do the multiplying first. 7 times 9 with a negative 9 is negative 63. You're going to add that to positive 62. That means you're really subtracting, and you're going to get negative 1. 18 divided by negative 2 is going to give you, yep, negative 9 minus 32, which is the same as plus negative 32. Same sign integers when you're adding, you just add them together. So 32 plus 9 is 41. They take the sign of the numbers, so negative 41. The next one, don't forget order of operations, do division first, then comes adding and subtracting. So negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. So now we have 11 minus negative 3. How do we rewrite that? 11 plus positive 3. That would give us positive 14. This one, don't forget, we're doing division before we do adding. Negative 27 divided by 3 is negative 9. We're going to add that to negative 4. So negative 9 plus negative 4 is going to be a negative, yep, 13. And the last one, do multiplying before adding. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. And we're going to add to that negative 29. So we're going to have negative 29 and negative 30. Should be negative 59. Right? Okay, don't get tricked on these. Make sure you use your order of operations. I'm going to clear it because all the numbers are going to come out. Oh, I wanted you to pause the video and try. Well, you can always rewind it and try. So here's the answers. 5, negative 1, negative 41, 14, negative 13, and negative 59. Okay, now we got to put them in order. I didn't want to show you that just yet, so I'm going to go back one. Even though you just saw it. Okay, I'd like you to pause the video and put these in order from least to greatest. From least to greatest. You can do it by number or by letter. And then check. Once you have paused the video and tried it, come back and check. Okay, here are the answers. F is first, that's negative 59. I'll write that by it. C is second, that's negative 41. E is next, that's negative 13. B is next, that's negative 1. A was 5, and D was 14. That is from smallest on the left to largest on the right. All right. Carlos made up a game where in a deck of cards, the red cards are negative and the black cards are positive. All face cards are worth 10 points and number cards are worth their value. I believe we did something like this the other video. Yes, we did. So we should know this, but it's worth doing again. So we could say that Samantha has a king of hearts. So Samantha has the king of hearts. So let's underline king of hearts. And the jack of diamonds and the 3 of spades. Write an equation to find the value of her cards and say what that value is. So we would say that Samantha has a king of hearts, so all red cards are negative 10. If it's a king, it's a face card. A jack of diamonds. Diamonds is a red card, it's also negative. So that's going to be another face card. And then we have a 3 of spades. Black cards are positive. And so we would write an equation for that. And to do that, we would end up having, clear my thing because it's there for you, 2 times -10 plus 3, and then that equals -17. That was on a previous video, so that should be a review for you. And I have a song. Where did our song go? Let's go back to our song. Hopefully our song shall work. Okay, I believe it is loading for us.
Grammarly can help you write quickly and confidently, so you never have to.
Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition
Oops, sorry guys.
is subtraction. If you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve. Parentheses first, 2 times 4, the product's 8. Are you ready for more? Exponents next, 2 squared is 4. Let's move down like we did before. Time to divide or multiply. Let's see what we got. Take a look at the signs. Divide the 8 by the 2. The quotient's 4, and we're almost through. It's finally time to add or subtract. 8's the answer, and that's a fact. Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition and subtraction. If you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve. Parentheses first, 2 times 6, the product's 12. Put it back in the mix. Exponents next, 3 squared is 9. When you know the tricks, it don't take much time. Now we divide or multiply. Let's see what we got. Take a look at the signs. 9 divided by 9 is 1. The answer's close, man. We're almost done. 4 minus 1 has a difference of 3. When we add the 12, we get 15. Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition and subtraction. If you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve.
All right, there was our ending song. So we are done. If I go back, I believe that was the last slide. So yes. So I'm back and we are finished. So you can look for your assignment on Google Classroom and I will see you next time. Bye.